Hi, I'm going to talk about section 24 of the Res Gestae. The translation for this section is, after the victory I replaced in the temples of all the provinces of Asia, the ornaments which he whom I had waged war with had possessed privately after the temples having been despoiled. 80 silver statues of me stood on foot and on horse and on chariots in the city, which I removed myself, and out of that money I placed golden offerings in the temple of Apollo in my name and those who had honored me with statues. Some literary analysis for this part is that he does not mention Mark Antony's name. Instead, he uses the word is to replace that, which really enhances his power by, belittling Mark Antony, not even mentioning his name in his will. Secondly, Augustus uses his, big literary technique where he uses the descriptor of the statue before saying that he removed them, which really highlights the statue and how important they were in that, this was a big thing and look, I removed them, which really shows his modesty as an emperor. And then directly after that, he talks about how he uses this money to give back to the people by making golden offerings and putting them in the temple of Apollo, which also goes back to section 19 where he talks about when he made the temple of Apollo, which is actually a huge accomplishment for him. So that kind of reinforces his power and greatness. But he also tries to act modest by saying that these offerings were placed in not only his name, but the names of those who had honored him with statues. The historical aspect of this section really focuses on the offerings that Augustus placed in the Temple of Apollo, which Suetonius said that they were tripods, which first of all directly reflects the image of the Delphic tripod, which symbolizes the Battle of Actium. There is a terracotta plaque in the Temple of Apollo which actually depicts the story of the Delphic tripod where Hercules tries to take it away from Apollo. And Augustus uses this as a metaphor for his Battle of Actium with Antony, in which Hercules represents Antony while Apollo represents Augustus. Secondly, Augustus uses these tripods overall as a way to enhance his prophetic power. So most of these tripods were images of many mythological stories or characters. Lastly, it is symbolic that Augustus uses tripods in the Temple of Apollo because they were first his trademark as an emperor, that he used these to enhance his power, but also that they were the symbol for Apollo, so it's fitting that they were put in his temple. We do not have many remnants of these tripods, but we do have many wall paintings or terracotta images of these, which is important because we can see what they looked like. Overall, these tripods were really used to enhance Augustus's power, which he then attributed to Apollo, and we can see this by him placing them in the Temple of Apollo, which was one of his greatest temples that was ever built. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.